Storybook weddings need fairy tale cakes, and 16-year-old Irish traveller Noreen helps make a gypsy girl's fantasies come true. While Noreen bucks the trend by having a job, when it comes to dreaming about weddings, she's every inch a traveller.
When we're all children ourselves, little girls, we all want to be princess. When I grow up, I want to be a princess. They have them ideas in their head for the long hair, the big sticky out dresses, the big crowns, and some country people might find it tacky, but it's what we like. You know what I mean? And what makes us feel like a princess for one day.
I'll mix some icing up in this cream colour.
Right.
And you can pipe
Noreen and shop owner Jill are putting the finishing touches to their latest creation.
This one here is the centrepiece. There's still a bit more work to be done on it. There's more piping to do on it, and there's more crystals to go on it. And then these are the ones that will actually go either side of the castle. Totally over the top, really pretty. The bridesmaids, the groom, and then there's the bride doll that Heather's working on as well.
These cakes must cost a fortune.
They cost a lot, obviously. It's not about money. In water, it's not about money. But it is a lot. And that's all I'm saying on that one.
When I get married, I'd like people to say, oh, the dress was lovely, the cake was nice, because it makes you look good. So next time you get seen in public, it's like, oh, did you go to her wedding? Her wedding was lovely. So you're known for your wedding day, or you're known for the dress. So you're known for at least something that you've done, like.
The girl behind the pink castle cake is about to start a new life away from home. In a week's time, 18-year-old Irish traveller Bridget will leave her siblings and her mother behind.
Me and Mum was really close. We were always doing things together. We always go everywhere together. I've never been away from her.
What, even for a night?
No, I don't think I have.
How do you think your mum's going to cope when you're not here?
I'm not that good.
Really?
No, I would just be lonesome. Like I'd be like very lonesome after my mum as well. So I will be lonesome.
Bridget's dress is being made by Thelma, who's known the family for more than a decade. She first met them shortly after Bridget's mum became one of the few women to escape a traveller marriage.
The mum is divorced from her dad, but she's, which is really, really unusual. She went through a very abusive relationship and she got out of it. She's brought all the children up on her own and she's done a really good job. But I know Bridget does a lot of the work for her mum around the house because her mum's got arthritis in her fingers and she finds it difficult to walk, so she's going to be really missed.
Bridget's family have come en masse for the unveiling of her dress.
The dress is not too tacky, it's just nice.
Just nice, isn't it?
When she was small, younger, I tried to be a mum and a dad, but trying to give her the very best. Give her as good as the next girl had. It's been hard, it's been a rough road, but I got there in the end for her. You know what I mean?
Weren't you nervous?
Yeah, I'm nervous.
And you knew he was the one, did you?
No, not really.
No? Didn't you like him when you first met him? No?
I'm very proud of her. Very, very proud of her. And I'm very proud of what I achieved for Bridget.
Wow. That is lovely. Babe. What do you think, Mum? Looks amazing, doesn't she? I'm crying in mind here. She makes it beautiful. She's absolutely beautiful. Everyone's crying now.
While Bridget Sr. is planning to give her daughter the perfect wedding, her own marriage was far from a fairy tale.
The best thing I ever done was to take my kids out of that marriage and rear them on their own. Stop them looking at the violence. I got married, I was only young. And the marriage was perfect at first, but then my husband started drinking and things started getting really bad. So I went to my mum and dad's and they sorted me out with a caravan, clothes for the kids, and just travelled around with me, just keep me away. You know, like keep hiding me out because he was a violent man. And then I got a divorce.
How many divorced Irish travellers do you know?
None. It's very rarely you see them divorce.
Although it's rare for traveller women to leave their husbands, Bridget Sr. is not alone in her experience of married life. It's estimated that over half of Irish traveller wives have suffered domestic violence.
Probably the traveller girls accept domestic violence more than the country girls. You know, they look on it that it's their fault. You know, they're brought up to believe that they must have done something wrong if the husband beats them. So they look at changing themselves, not changing the husbands, because it's either that or a life of how do you provide for your family, you know, because that's what the man does, he provides, and, you know, she can't provide for them, so that's how they look at it.
With the big day drawing near, Bridget and her mum are preparing themselves for a life apart.
My aunt's got arthritis in her hands, and it's really bad. She can't really do things. She can hardly sometimes have a cup of tea. I give her a massage like this every few nights. She deserves it.
This one here, please.
Though she's divorced, in the eyes of the community, Bridget Sr. isn't supposed to remarry. Now she faces the future without her closest companion.
We never spend time apart, do we?
No. Time is precious, isn't it?
So what's it going to be like after the wedding?
It's going to be different, and it's going to be like really lonesome.
I think a lot of tears. Very lonely tears.
I do actually feel kind of guilty now, because it's like she's going to be upset over me, you know.
It's a really tough one, isn't it? It's a tough situation.
Yeah, it is kind of a tough situation, actually. It's like she's been there since day one. And it's like it really is like coming more closer because I never had a father like to raise me up, and like she was like the mother and the father. We got like really closer. So this is gonna be really bad, I know.
It's 5 in the morning on Bridget's big day. Noreen and Jill have to transport the centrepiece of the wedding 100 miles down the motorway.
This one's too big to go in a box, so what we tend to do is just actually cling film round it just to make sure the pillars stay intact. So if it does go, it goes inwards and it doesn't go outwards, so it doesn't affect the other cakes. There's about 60 plus kilos of icing on it alone, and then there's everything else, so it's heavy, so do you want to give us a hand? Oh God, hold on. Got? Yeah, got. 1, 2, 3, go on. Can you get past? Ooh. Oh, down. Careful. Ow. Hold on. Ugh. Fingers. Ow. This is where it all goes wrong.
Can I have a
Round it up, Rosa. You're walking on that already.
At Bridget's house, caravan loads of relatives have descended.
You look amazing. Where are we dressing yet? In here?
Thelma and her assistant Leanne have arrived to dress the bride.
Get it tuck in. We don't need to
We're just putting a bandage round Bridget's waist, because sometimes the girls end up with scars. But if they all want the fairy tale look, then this is what they have to put up with, don't they? Do you feel like a princess? Don't you? Not yet. You will do when you're all dressed. Generally, I just think because they watch films when they're young, and they all pick out usually someone who they like, because they'll come to us and ask for either like Cinderella or at the moment the Princess and the Frog, and then they're just like Cinderella for a day, isn't it? They look like Cinderella and they are Cinderella for a day. The only thing is, like, they don't carry on being Cinderella. They don't marry the prince who's whisked them off. They go back to being like the domestic life, don't they? So she's just got to make the most of it, haven't you?
Having arrived at the venue, Jill has no idea if her castle cake has survived the journey.
What's going through your mind now?
I don't know. I'm just not even going there until this van's open. Stay there.
Yeah?
All right. Fab.
Yes. Nearly 100 miles and didn't move one bit.
Yeah, thank God for that. So there you go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, no, down. Hold on. Oh, go. Noreen, give his hand. I can't get it. I haven't got the. No. You're right. Go. Oh.
I've never, ever seen one like that before.
With traveller weddings, you can make a fantasy into real life. You know what I mean? Because fantasies, it's all in the brain, in a dream. But with travellers, you know what I mean? We can make anything real. You know what I mean? We can make a fantasy. Like, I don't think I've seen one country person with a castle this size. You know what I mean? So we can make it happen. We can get the right people, the best of the people. And then before you know it then, the fantasy is your wedding day. A big princess wedding day.
18-year-old Irish traveller Bridget's big moment has arrived, but the gathering crowd is making her nervous.
This door, open this door, Mum.
No, you have to go to the store.
No,
you can't.
Mummy, I'm getting out this door. I beg you, everyone see me getting out.
No, but I want them to see you. I beg you.
Listen, I don't want everyone to see me getting out.
You have to, that's what you do for now. No, the woman's at this side with the camera. She's at this side. Do you have to? What's your face? What's your face?
In the absence of her father, Bridget's disabled 15-year-old brother is giving her away. 17-year-old Tommy is the man Bridget is marrying.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, the Lord be with you. Today marks a complete new beginning in the lives of both of you.
I do want it to be the best day of her life, because she's a good person. She really do deserve it. Every time I'm sick or in pain or anything, she's the first face she'll see. So I'm trying to give it back to her in another way.
Go in the peace of Christ. Amen.
At 4 foot high, 12 foot wide, and complete with iced Barbie and Ken dolls, the castle cake is ready for its audience.
I'm in love with this cake, by the way.
What sort of cake's inside?
Some of them are sponge, some are chocolate, some are raisins. I think that one's sponge cake. I love it.
All right, it's gorgeous. Come here. Come Come here.
Oh, you were going home. I was like, wait, what on,
No. What have they said about the cake today?
Everybody complimented it. Everybody said it was one of the nicest cakes that they ever did see. A strange colour. Soon, because when you're walking through the door, the cake's in front of your face. So as soon as you walk in, the cake was just like, wow.
This is my Auntie Bridget, and she left her husband when her baby was 5 months, and he is now how old?
13 next month.
Now 13. And her first child, second girl born, this wedding, all by herself, no man, no help, independent for herself. And when she did leave her husband, it just went up from there, didn't it? Really did go up from there. Her children never wanted for nothing, never needed for nothing. A man and woman, Irish travelling man and woman, could not do as good for the children as a single Irish woman on her own. And fair play to her, because she did very good.
At a traveller wedding, the bride's father always leads his daughter in the first dance.
Come on, everybody, give him a great big round of applause.
But for Bridget and Bridget, it's a chance to say their final goodbyes.
Looking at her now, she's happy. And she has a lovely husband. So I hope the two of them do be happy. And I'll always be near her, and she'll always be near me. Because we are very close, me and Bridget.
With day turning to night, it's time for the younger generation to hit the dance floor, with moves inspired by one of the traveller girls' idols, Shakira.
How else are they going to attract a man, really? If they all look good, every one of them young girls in there looks good, so they've got to stand out from the crowd. And their whole aim in life is to get married. You know, if they're not married by the time, they're 21, 22, they're basically on the shelf. So they've got to make sure that they look good at every function they go to, so they can get a husband.
It's up to the boys at the wedding to make the first move. And it's not long before the grabbing begins.
The grabbing can be really physical sometimes. I don't think it's a good start to any relationship to be like that, where there's a bit of violence involved. But I think in the travelling community, the women know they're going to be dominated anyway. They know they go in with their eyes open. They know that's how it's going to be. And this man is going to take control of them. It's accepted. In fact, it's insisted upon that the men dominate the women. Otherwise, they wouldn't be, in the eyes of the men of the community, men.